NHL logos ranked from worst to best. In this video, I'm going to be ranking all 32 NHL logos from the ones that I think are the worst to the ones that I think are the best. In order to do this, I will be judging these logos in a few different criteria. One is color scheme. Two, how well does the logo fit with the team name? Three, were there better logos in the history of that team? And then four, my overall personal opinion. With that being said, we will start at the bottom. At number 32, which, yes, does mean I think that they have the worst logo in the NHL, is the Washington Capitals. To start off, when I look at an NHL team logo, in my opinion, I like logos that don't have a lot of words in them. I think having the full team name in the logo, I don't like it, and I especially just don't like it with the Washington Capitals here. I think they've had much better logos in the past. First of all, the word Washington's kind of hard to see, and the blue, the red, the white color scheme is a very good color scheme. It's just not done very well with this logo. I think if you maybe had some color in the back, or just there's so much that could be done to help fix this logo. And I think, I'm sorry, Capitals fans, but in my opinion, it's the worst logo in the NHL. But very close to number 32 is number 31, and it was a pretty tough decision on who to make last. In 31st, though, I have the Tampa Bay Lightning. And, well, yes, they're called the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, obviously, you expect a lightning bolt. Of course you do. But, first of all, it's white, which I guess I could understand. But the circle around it, it's white too. And it's boring. This is boring. Like, it's a white lightning bolt with a kind of a circle around it. And I think there's a look with the name Tampa Bay Lightning. There's so many better logos that you could make than this one. So, in my opinion, I have it ranked at number 31. Sticking with Florida teams, at number 30, I have the Florida Panthers. And I don't hate this logo, but the last logo, the Panther, was a lot more menacing, and this one kind of just looks tame, and it's just kind of chilling there, all red-eyed. I wonder what that Panther was doing earlier on, but I like the red, I like the blue, I like the color scheme. I don't like this Panther. I think the other one was so much better, so much more menacing, and it looked overall better. And then, as I've said, the team names, I get it. Okay, it works having Florida at the top there. I guess it works, but the Panther should be the old Panther. If you have the old Panther kind of in the middle here, it was menacing looking. I think they've had better logos. In number 29 is the LA Kings, who just recently changed their logo to this one. And better than historical logos? No, this one is not better. And I get trying to go back in the history with this logo, but you should have some purple in it. If you're going to go with the crown as you do in the bottom, I get you don't have to have the entire logo purple, but you had an opportunity here with no NHL team having the color purple to just spice this up a little bit. And I think they should add some purple to this and some gold maybe to that crown as well. Gray, black, white, it's kind of boring. And you should just add some color to this. And then the lines in the word Kings, I'm not a big fan. As I said earlier, words, I don't love the team name in the full logo. So LA finishes at number 29. Number 28 is the Winnipeg Jets. And the Winnipeg Jets obviously had a team in the past. And obviously this team moving from Atlanta. And ever since moving from Atlanta, they've had the same logo. They haven't changed it. It's been the same one. I get the jet in the middle, the maple leaf, the Canadian maple leaf. I get that. I like that, but there's a lot of white in the middle, and I think it could just it could be spruced up a bit, and then it could move up the rankings. Number 27 is the Colorado Avalanche, and when I look at this logo, it's the burgundy with the letter A. And I get it. That's part of their color scheme, and that's their choice. But I like the blue. I like the silver. I think those work well together. And obviously, Avalanche, you have to have white for snow. But the burgundy A, I don't like it. I've never really liked it. And that's why the Avs finish at number 27. Number 26, we've got the New York Islanders. Blue, orange, they go well together. They do. And you got the hockey stick there, you've got the puck, you've got the little island. I like that, but the word Islanders, and I get it, like how are you going to fit the word Islanders in there? But as I said previous, having the full team name, I don't really like the words, and I think the word Islanders at the bottom, it's kind of just like compacted, and I do like the New York and the Y with the hockey stick. I do like that. I think that works well. But overall, this logo could use some work, and that's why I have to rank it at number 26. At number 25 is the Philadelphia Flyers. And, well, they've had this logo for a very, very long time, and they're probably not changing anytime soon. But a lot of black, a little bit of orange and white. And I get it. Maybe they don't need to, like, obviously, they're not going to add blue and red. And I don't expect them to add a bunch of colors, but you could do a little bit more orange, I think, in this logo. And you could just make it a little bit more updated and vibrant, I think. And it would probably move up the list. This one I'm going to get slack for, but that's okay. Number 24, I have the Montreal Canadiens. And the H in the middle, I like that. The C for the Canadiens, I like that. And I don't want to sound childish, but I will anyways. Ever since being a kid, I had a lot of Leafs fans in the family and as friends. And everyone always used to compare this C to a toilet seat. And maybe you don't see it, but I kind of see it, and I've always kind of seen it. So maybe that shouldn't really affect my overall opinion, but overall, I don't think I can have it much higher than 24th. I think the Habs could use with a change, but obviously being an original 6 team and they've had this logo for so long, they're probably not making any changes, so that's fine. Number 23 is the St. Louis Blues. And, okay, maybe this one should be a little bit higher because it really does fit with the team name. Blues, you got the blue note, that's obviously blue. And that makes sense, but I really don't like the white in between the gold. And I think, obviously, maybe it makes it stand out a little bit instead of having that just the blue, but I think they could upgrade this one and move it up my rankings. Not all upgrades are good. And obviously we talked about the Kings earlier and now the Senators. And, I liked their previous logo, the Senator logo. I liked it more than this one. And I get maybe this one looks a little bit more realistic, obviously a tone to the past to a previous logo, but just not a huge fan. I don't think it's awful, and that's why it's at number 22, but not one of my favorites. Number 21, we've got the Carolina Hurricanes, and I get it. What does a hurricane look like? And when I look at this logo, I just think that's just a mess. And I get it. A hurricane is a mess, so I guess it does fit with the team name. And red, white, black, silver. I get that, but I think it could be better made, the Hurricanes logo. Moving into kind of the middle here, number 20, we've got the Buffalo Sabres. And obviously, you got the Buffalo at the top, the Sabres at the bottom. Uh, it's not a horrible logo. I do like it. Um, just don't like it as much as some others. And obviously, it had to fit a spot, and this is where it fit. Blue, gold, white. Not awful logo. I think it could use a little bit of change, but I'm not sure necessarily there's much they could do. I know a lot of people like the black logo, but they like the black and red one. But I do prefer this one over that. But number 20 is the Buffalo Sabres. Number 19, we've got the New York Rangers, who've obviously had this logo for a long time now. Original 6 team, blue, red, white. Those are their colors, and obviously I wouldn't expect anything else. But I think they could change it up. They could change it up. I think it's been a while. I think it's time they could make some changes here and kind of upgrade this one. But it's a historic logo, and if they keep it, then that's fine. Toronto at number 18. I do prefer their previous Maple Leaf logo. When they changed this, it was quite a surprise when they switched to this one. And I get it. This one kind of looks a little bit more realistic with kind of the middle part of the leaves, and I get that. It's not a horrible logo, but again, Toronto Maple Leafs right in the middle. And I get it, if you took away the Toronto Maple Leafs and it was just that blue leaf, that would kind of look weird. But so I'm not saying that having all names is horrible, but I think it could they could switch it up a little bit and make it better. Vancouver Canucks are at number 17, and I do like the gray and the dark and the lighter blue at the bottom. The dark blue is okay, but the Canucks, they have green in their logo or in their color scheme, but they don't in their logo. So I think they could use a little bit of green here, even just with the eye. Maybe have the eye green and just add a little bit extra. I think they can add a little bit to this and make it a little bit better. Number 16 is the Boston Bruins. And yeah, right in the middle. Number 16 is Boston. The black and the gold really work well together. Obviously, the white in the middle as well. And Boston, I think the logo's good. I like it. Just there's others I like better, and that's why they're kind of in the middle. Number 15, we've got the Detroit Red Wings. Obviously, you got the wings, you got the wheel, obviously representing cars, which Detroit's known for, and that's why they've had this logo for such a long time. A historic logo, and I like the logo itself. And they've always been just red and white, so I get that, but red and white, a lot of teams have red and a lot of teams have white. So I like the logo itself. It's just, I think the color scheme that kind of hurts it here. I think if they did add to it, though, if they did add some color here, maybe some black, I think that might, I don't know, really piss off some fans. But I think it would look good if you added maybe a little bit of black into this, or maybe even some gray as well. I think it would make it a bit better here, this original 6 logo. Number 14 is the Columbus Blue Jackets. And obviously pretty much kind of the same color scheme as Washington with the red, the white, and the dark blue, the navy blue. And I think that this is so much better well done. This one. And I do like the gray in the middle, the star behind it. Overall, I like Columbus's logo. I like it. So that's why it's at number 14. At number 13 is the New Jersey Devils. And what's hurting the Devils here, why are they not a little bit higher, maybe in the top 10, is again the red and the white and the black. but the actual logo is great. You've got the N, you got the tail kind of at the bottom for the J, and then you've got the horns at the for the top of the J. I love that. I love that. The look of the logo itself. Um, and I know the Devils used to have some green. I don't know necessarily if green works, but having a something else, maybe instead of the white in the middle, they could go with something else. I don't know. But overall, number 13, I like it. Number 12, we got the Edmonton Oilers and the final logo that has a word in it. And the Oilers made number 12. I like the oil drop. I do. I like how the word Oilers, how it's kind of dripping. It looks good. I think kind of the words, the dripping could maybe be a different color, but that would mean the Oilers word would have to be probably a different color as well. But maybe they go with that orange, and then you kind of make the background that blue. I don't know. There's things you could do instead of just a whole bunch of white in the middle. But overall, it fits. Edmonton Oilers, it fits. And at number 11 is the Anaheim Ducks. And this one I might get some slack for as well. Why is Anaheim so high? And well, if this was a few years ago with their previous logo, they would have been in the bottom three because that was just awful. An awful Ducks logo. But this one, I think it's much, much improved. You're going back to kind of your history with the kind of Mighty Ducks, which you really, and I get it when they switched the name from the Mighty Ducks to the Anaheim Ducks, they wanted to change, and I get that. But obviously the Duck logo is just a historic one. So bringing that back here makes sense. The orange hockey sticks, I love that. It's just that beige, that beigeish gold. I would I miss the teal. I miss the teal. I thought the teal looked really good in the original Mighty Ducks logo. So not perfect, but much improved in the previous logo. And if they made some changes and added some of that teal color, I think the Anaheim Ducks would move into the top 10 when it comes to logos. And now for the top 10. In number 10, we've got the Chicago Blackhawks. And hey, an historic logo here with the Blackhawk logo. Yes, some find it controversial, and everyone's entitled to their opinions. I don't. I like the Blackhawk logo. Obviously, you've got the face and the feathers, like the red, the green, and the gold, and the orange, and just there's a lot of color in this, but it's really well done. It's a really well done logo, and that's why that the Blackhawks make the top 10 in my NHL logos. At number 9, we've got the Pittsburgh Penguins. And hey, some people might think I have this too high, but hey, when you think about a Penguin logo, penguin on hockey skates with a stick, I like it. I like it. Okay, the gold triangle in the back, but I do like it better than that other one that they had that was kind of more of a beige. They could make this better. They could make the Penguin logo better, but I do like it, and that's why it fits at number 9. In number 8, we've got one of the newer NHL teams, the Vegas Golden Knights. And while they definitely could improve it, the V with kind of the knight helmet, I like that. I do like the gold, and I do kind of like that dark gray color. I would kind of use more of that actually instead of like kind of the white trim. But overall, Vegas got their logo right. I think they got it right when they made their logo, and that's why they're at number 8. Number 7, we've got the Dallas Stars, and I think Dallas definitely improved their logo when they switched from their previous one. The D here with the star, obviously you've got the green around the background. I like that. The green and the black work well together. Then you kind of got the white and the gray in the middle, and it works. I wonder if maybe you could have a little bit less white. But overall, I do like it, and that's why the Dallas Stars are at number 7. Number 6, we've got the Seattle Kraken. And it might sound a little bit crazy, but one of the reasons why Seattle is so high, I love the red eye. I love the red eye and the S. I think it's more red would actually be good in this color scheme with how you have got the really dark blue and then you've got the kind of more lighter blues there. I like the red. And, some people don't like the newer logos as much, but I do. I like this one. And Seattle will likely eventually make changes and maybe more focus on kind of the Kraken animal type aspect, which I would really like at some point. But overall, I like the Seattle Kraken logo. That's why they're at number 6. And in the top 5, at number 5, we have the Calgary Flames. And with the name Flames, you better have a good logo. And the Flames do. Overall, I like it. Yes, they used to have black in here, and not necessarily always more color is better. Here, with just the red and the gold, it works. It works really well for the Calgary Flames. And one of my favorite logos in the NHL. And that's why they're at number 5. Now it gets a little bit tough. At number 4, got the San Jose Sharks. What a logo the San Jose Sharks have. Obviously, the shark, you've got it biting the hockey stick. It's epic. Epic. The only thing I think here, I think it's been a while. I think they could add, I would get rid of the white in the background and maybe even make it the teal color. San Jose having the teal is one of the things that set them apart. So I would have some more teal here in the logo, but shark, the hockey stick, it's one of the best in the NHL. Now we're into the top 3. At number 3 is the Nashville Predators. And as people are going to be able to tell, I like the animal logos. I do. I like this Predator logo. The only thing that's keeping it from moving into the top 2 is all the white. But I love the Predator logo itself. The teeth and just the logo itself. I love it. I just think color-wise, it could use some work. And I get it. People don't like the kind of goldish yellow and their jersey, especially with so much yellow. But blue and gold, blue and yellowish, they do go well together. And I think this could use a little bit more color. And that's why they are in 3rd. And that brings us to number 2. And number 2 is Utah Mammoth. Yes, I think Utah got their logo right. They kept with the color scheme that they had with the black and that blue and then the white. And I like it. I like it. I think the eye should be red. I think that would make it look a little bit better. And then maybe instead of the white, I would have a little bit more of like a grayish white if I'm nitpicking. But overall, I like the Mammoth logo. And I'm so happy that they went with Utah Mammoth instead of Utah Hockey Club. I think that would have been a total disaster. And that leaves us with one team. And I'm going to get slack in the comments for this, but I don't care. Come on now. Tell me that's not only the best logo in the NHL, but one of the best logos in sports, the Minnesota Wild. The bear, obviously, and then you've got the trees, you've got the sun, you've got that star for the eye. Absolutely perfectly made, this logo. No, I'm not a huge fan of red. We've kind of gone over that maybe, but it works. It works with this Wild logo. And hey, I am a Wild fan. And the logo, I'm not from Minnesota. As I said, I have Leafs fans in the family. I'm near Toronto, but I became a Wild fan. And a big part of the reason why I became a Wild fan, in my opinion, I don't really know why, but is because the logo is just so amazing. I absolutely love the Wild logo. That's why they are number one. And that is NHL logos ranked from worst to best. Let me know in the comments below, who do I have way too low? Who do I have way too high? What did I think about your team's logo? Do you agree with me or not? And hey, if you don't think the Wild have the best logo in sports, I don't know what to tell you. Get your eyes checked. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And we will see you on the next video on the channel. Thanks for watching, guys.